What up? What up? What's going on, y'all? Cuz on the line. What's up?
What up? What up? I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good.
Big Tone, roller.
So with everybody, man.
All right, what's going on?
Chilling.
All right, that's what I like to hear. Hey, Steph. Hey, Fabi.
I need a loan, man. Let's open it up.
Yeah, let's get
Hi,
to
everybody.
Somebody send me some tether.
it.
I'm in here to accept some of this knowledge you about to drop, man.
Man, listen,
Yes, sir.
Get it.
I hate to say I told you so, but shit, we can go back to every video.
Black Swan was coming.
All right, let's just jump in. We're recording this anyway, so the playback will be up right after this. I'll keep it light and easy. Listen, 2015 was an event, right? The difference between today and 15 was the amount of products and how much the industry has evolved, right? So I woke up this morning to a message from Nexo, which is the platform that I leverage my crypto to take out loans. And they were just like, listen, you X amount of percentages away from starting to be liquidated. So if you know what that means, once you start to go over that threshold, you start to, you owe this money. What makes it worse is Nexo, when I first signed up with them, they used to give me percentage on everything that I staked with them on top of the loan, right? So when I'm looking at the hold on. The support level I'm watching. Yeah, so when I'm looking at the structure and how I set things up, so on the loans, a lot of it I was actually purchasing to buy more crypto, but at the time I was purchasing on a dip that wasn't the final dip, right? So I got a 20% discount, which I thought at the time was amazing, and then it dropped even more, and it's been a struggle for a lot of the coins to come back. To the point of, being in profit range. So my loan was actually being paid back by other coins that I had sent over there that weren't backed against my loan. It was just, I was staking and receiving daily interest on my money that was offset. Basically, my loan was free at the time. So now there's only 2 coins that they're still offering staking on. And you got to wonder, like, why only these 2 coins. So it's XRP and Tether are the only 2 coins that you can stake for money on Nexo right now. So what's different for me in the Black Swan event, and Champ and I don't think that this is the worst that's about to happen, right? This is just a precursor to it, and it's going to show you the power of, and Champ will take over after this. I'm doing a lot today, but this could show you the power of the institutional investors, right? This right here was created by institutional investors, right? So we saw Elon Musk last week destroy the NFT market just by putting up something, giving people the assumption, changing his Twitter photo to Bored Ape. Champ. Okay. You have to unmute too, Champ, because I muted everybody.
Gotcha, my bad. Yeah, it was Bored Ape. Mm-hmm.
Right. So what he did was he manipulated it, and then he pretty much, and I'm sure he did, he bought and sold, and it caused Bored Ape within like 10 minutes. It caused the price to spike by him posting, right? So that means he's in position to buy. And trust me, guys, these guys are all doing arbitrage. They're all familiar with everything that's happening in this industry. They're all trading futures the same way that we do. The only thing is they're wizards, so they have their hand on the pulse. So if enough of us bought as a group collectively, we can move these We can move any project we want. And that just shows you the power. So what's different from the time that I told you to rant was, and what hurts me the most about this space is it's going to be super centralized, right? So yes, we can create subgroups and stay semi-decentralized, but guys, the players are here. They've been lined up, you know, at the time, and I don't know if Champ was processing it like that too. I kind of knew they weren't going to relinquish power, but you know, when you're actually watching the industry materialize, and then you're seeing Ethereum with their, you know, board members and who's involved with that, and you start to see some other projects and those names. And I'll be honest, man, they burn shit down. We are in an extraordinary position to become institutional and accredited investors in crypto. That's the only way that you're going to be able to amass one. To keep the wealth in crypto is by being accredited, because you're going to be closed out to a lot of things. So Champ and I have what they call the protocol. It's the permissionless, borderless way of how money's going to move in crypto. So all the spot projects that we gave you, still solid projects. If you listen to the institutional guys, they're not worried about projects that are going to change the world right now. They want to invest in what they call infrastructure. Right. So if you're going to invest in the roads first, because if you own road and land, everything you build on top of it is going to increase in value. Right. And then when you own roads and highways, that's how people get from A to B. Right. So forget the car, forget the house that's built on it, forget the businesses and the companies that could build on it. We're talking about layer one situations. If you own land, that's considered layer one. Then everything above it is what you build on top of it. So then you have your, right? Because I could own a piece of land, I could build a building, and I could sell the air rights, right? So everything from the minerals in the ground all the way up to the sky is profitable, right? So this is the way that these guys are looking at crypto space right now before the mass adoption comes. People are already lined up with the infrastructure of crypto. They know already. Champ and I know already. I didn't expect, and this is only a precursor to the bullshit, right? So I would say, let's be easy on the leveraging, like anything else. On top of that, those products are changing, right? They're not, you see the government has already got to them. So things are very different when it comes down to Nexo and Celsius and some of those guys that you know, kind of lent out crypto. So we told you the exact order. It's going to be stable coins first, then it's going to be DeFi products second, right? So the stable coin is what's going to stabilize the entire industry. So we already know, this is no secret, guys. If you look at anything, look at the chart right now, tell me the only thing that's green. What's the only thing that's green right now, Chip?
USDC.
That's the government coin, guys.
That's it. And that's the choice.
That's it. That's been picked. We've told you guys about that a long time ago. Tether's holding on to a string. UST Luna was totally wiped out, and that was all industry stuff. Champ, let them know why that Terra thing happened. And I'm going to show you how we could have made money on that also, and could continue to make money with Terra if you want to hedge that way. Go ahead, Champ.
All right, so this is going to be a little complicated. I don't expect everybody to just grasp it initially, but just follow, right? Because you guys are bright minds. You're part of the university, you bright minds. So BlackRock and Citadel. BlackRock, you know the name off the back, right? These are the big boys. They are the reason behind this. They created this. So when Steve told you this was manufactured, right? They created this on purpose. It's problem, reaction, solution. Always remember those three, and I'll drop it in the chat once I finish. But always remember this: problem, reaction, solution. All right, so BlackRock and Citadel, they were behind it. BlackRock invested in a company called Circle. Circle is a USDC issuer, right? USDC is a stable coin. It's the only one that's green right now. Follow me. Once BlackRock invested in Circle, UST, which is Luna's stable coin, became a competitor. What do you do to wipe the competitor out? Wipe them out. Cause a bank run. So this is the specifics. This is where it gets tricky, right? It's a bunch of dot connecting. So BlackRock and Citadel, they borrowed 100,000 Bitcoin. Then they had a over the counter, which is on like a general exchange, right? Any exchange that you go to, that's what OTC is, over the counter. They had a deal to sell 25,000 of the Bitcoin that they borrowed to Terra, Luna. Then they bought the stable coin UST, which is Luna's stable coin. They then sold 75K Bitcoin and shorted the Luna. Once they shorted Luna, they dumped some more UST on what's called Curve while it's in a liquidity pool, and it's called 3 pool, and it was moving to 4 pool. This caused the dollar, well, the Bitcoin correlation for UST and Bitcoin to depeg. They decouple, right? When something decouples, it loses its stability, right? It doesn't hold its value. It's supposed to be right at $1, right? It lost that. So once it dipped, they continuously dumped the rest of the UST that they had on Binance. This caused an even greater depeg. This created uncertainty. Everybody's scared in the market. That's what's called FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, right? Once you have FUD in the market, it's automatically going to cause mass hysteria. People get scared, they get finicky, they get itchy, and they start moving stuff. When you start moving stuff, you start selling off, keeps trying to arrange money, and it causes even more panic in the market. This makes a greater depeg, right? After they did that, they continued the depeg and kill the confidence of UST, and it caused a bank run on Anchor. This caused UST to further depeg. Now, if you look at the chart, this is why it literally was trading like this, going straight across, and it just dips, boom. These guys resulted in 100% collateral liquidation. 100%. You know how much the attacker made? Almost $1 billion. It's $960 million was made off of this. And you know what it did to the crypto market? We're sitting in it. This is the storm. This is part of the black swan right here. And we told y'all months and months and months ago, you can go back to the first calls we ever had. We told y'all this was coming. This is all manufactured because what they want to do is they already picked their quote unquote chosen stablecoin. When they pick their chosen stablecoin, what do you do if you want to stay in power? You exert dominance and you try to kill off all other competition. So any other stablecoin that people was using, they wanted it gone. UST was starting to pick up its leg. It was picking up speed because it's an algorithmic stablecoin. So it's like it's basically like an AI stablecoin, right? So it has certain protocols that'll, even if it depegs and it breaks its value, it'll instantly, their protocols will go into place and it'll repair itself and repay. So that way it stays right at that level. But with this, there's no way of avoiding this. This is sheer brilliance. But the crazy part about this is just the beginning. When we said 70% drop, again, you're sitting in it. Bitcoin hit 65K. Now where we at? Bitcoin is at 27,000. It's at 27.5 right now. So I say all this to say problem, reaction, solution. The problem, they had already picked USDC as their chosen coin, right? But you have other competitors. Now we need to knock them off. We need to cause panic in the market. That's a problem. They kept telling you, Gary Gensler, the SEC, what's her name, Yellen?
Yeah.
They all want regulations on stable coins, right? This is a way for them to usher in and make us feel as investors like we need them. Now this is when they put the little S on their chest, right? And they called, all this panic was caused by them. Everybody denies it. Oh, we didn't have nothing to do with it. It's not on us, right? Now they're going to come in and say, this is the reason why y'all need us to come in and bring regulations. Then they're going to bring regulations. Once they bring regulations, it looks like it could be a bad thing, but this is when the real fun happens. Because once regulations come, this is going to give the green light to the big institutional players, the guys like BlackRock and all these big Fortune 500 companies, and then all these new tech companies and everybody that's going to use smart contracts, blockchain technology, and certain crypto projects that solve real world problems. When these guys come in, and they're already ready. They're on the sidelines with trillions and quadrillions of cash. So think about what this is going to do to the market. We're down right now in the last 6 months, we're down to 1.18 trillion market cap. Just 6 months ago, we were at 3.2 trillion. So we're at a third of what the market cap was. That's why we're down like this. And Bitcoin still has its dominance. But you cannot forget, Tether is the reason Bitcoin even has legs to stand on. If I just told you they already picked USDC, what do you think is going to happen with Tether in the distance, right? We don't know exactly the date. We don't know when. So that's why we keep, we're hyper vigilant. Steve and I both, we do this all day. We literally call each other and we say, yo, you check on this. Hey, what's going on with this? Oh, how you looking on the charts on that side? Yo, how you looking with this? How is, a new Fed rate looking? Because right now, when we have instances like this, oh, just know they're going to give us another hike. More hike, more inflation. Inflation turns to hyperinflation. This is why we give y'all plays. This is why we give y'all passive income opportunities. You know what I mean? We putting y'all on the arbitrage and all this good stuff, because this is the way that you really can hedge against inflation, right? Because these coins, certain projects, Bitcoin is definitely not a hedge against inflation, but that's what they say. That's the moniker for it. But the truth is, hey, your job ain't giving you a raise. You didn't get a promotion. You didn't get a raise, but everything else went up. So now you spending that extra 300 in the grocery store, that extra 200 in gas a month, but you don't have nothing to supplement it. So this is why this is so important. We definitely wanted y'all on this call today because this is the prime time, right? And this is not even the worst. I can't express that enough. This is not the bottom. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. But we're showing y'all, we're teaching y'all like how to position yourself so that when the market turns around, because this right here, this is when billionaires are made. This is when multimillionaires are made. And you see all the blood in the market. If your psychology is right and your mind is clear, your vision is, your eyes wide open, like we know y'all are, everybody on this call should be multimillionaires. That's it. Because when it gets worse, the price of these coins is going to drop. Your entries are going to be better. The market will eventually turn around. It could be 2 months. It could be a month. It could be 10 days later, right? You just never know because it's heavily manipulated. But when it turns around, that's when your money is made.
So guys, there was a lot of moving parts within that hour of just, craziness that went on. And like he said, so I dropped an article in there that showed, and this is from Tuesday. So Janet was in front of Congress and they were grilling her about the stablecoin situation. So she she's just and not just, but she's the Treasury Secretary. So she cannot implement rules against stable coins in this digital space, right? So she's looking at it from a different vantage point. And she even blamed hedge funds specifically. And this was on Tuesday. This was before the drop, right? So these guys have been manipulating the market. So the very things that we do, they do, but they, by the time Champ and I, or we all get the information, it's already too late. These guys are already lined up. So somebody put in here, how come they didn't give us a heads up on that Luna?
And Luna,
that would have been a wild short.
What?
Like
oh my
wild short. But the crazier part about the Luna situation, when you look at just the new space that we're in now with crypto arbitrage, is when you hold UST, you can swap it out for Luna, right? So this is what another set of guys were doing in crypto. They were buying it low because Luna's algorithm couldn't really keep up with what was happening, right? So they're buying the UST, and then they were swapping the UST, and then they were selling the Luna coin also, which is why that took a hit, right? So now the volume in arbitrage yesterday was nuts on the buy and sell side. So if you guys notice, our arbitrage portfolio, if you're in, how many people are in swap next also? Just give me a 1 if you're in swap next and a 2 if you're not. Oh man, you guys are bugging. You guys have to get inside of these arbitrage plays. This is the game that the industry's playing right now. So for as long as the volatility and the thousands of markets are going to be created, this is the space that you go into, and I'm not going to say you load up in it, but Steve's loaded up, right? What's going to eventually happen, and arbitrage is needed to keep the exchanges together and keep volatility and volume coming in. So this is a part of the market that's always going to be needed. But when you look at the stock market, everything's coming from, it's one price, it's one exchange, everything's in and out, there's kill switches. When you look here in the crypto space, and you could do this on your own, you can go to Coinbase and then go to KuCoin and look at the pricing. It's never going to be identical. And sometimes they're sometimes they could be 0.5% off, all the way to, back in the days when the FTX guy made his money, the price discrepancies were as high as 10 to 20% difference. Now it's a little bit better. But when you think of high volume trading and making 1% here, you just got to do 1% 5 times in a day to get 5% a day. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. We are putting you guys together with systems. And I'm not talking about the meta fee play, right? Not so much the meta fee. We're talking about the COTP and the swamp next. How many people are in the COTP play? And Stephanie, I know you just came back from vacation, but this was the exact thing that you were looking for.
Right.
Something to work for you without you having to work for it.
Yes, there are videos. They're going to be on Discord once we release the book. But there's already a channel in Discord for it. But okay. you and Quay, yeah, you and Jacquay, y'all both, man, y'all gotta get in this.
Hey guys, the stuff I'm witnessing with just COTP, right? I had one guy put 100,000 in. He only cared about 2 weeks. That's it. He was in for 2 weeks. He cleared out close to 162. So he made 62,000 in 2 weeks. So I'm just telling you and again, I'm not telling you what to put in, but for everybody that's coming in with $100, that's doubled it and tripled it, start thinking a little bit more, right? So my thing is, once you put that 100 in, you've already lost 4 weeks from the time you started, or 5 weeks, right? And now you want to load up again. That was the same play from before. So you have to have strong conviction. So what Champ and I are doing is we're looking for other plays, so that way you can roll your profits from those. Meta fee, I'm going to tell you guys, ease up on that one after your contract's done. That's my personal take on it. I'm easing up. Why? Because that yield farming situation, anything that's tied to lending, and this is where you guys have to learn to start connecting the dots, right? And Champ and I have been teaching you this, but now you have to be intentional on understanding it yourself. So if someone has a platform and they're issuing returns on people borrowing, you have to ask yourself, the first question when you're looking at these projects is, if somebody could pay me 11, so COTP is 1,100% a year. That means they have to make at least 1,100% to break even, right? So what vehicle are they using? So if you can do enough of these transactions over the counter, and I'm telling you guys, I see this, and this is why it's important for you to get into Swamp Next, because I think Swamp Next now is going to give you the ability to really understand what's happening in those markets, because you can literally, so my pairings that I have on Swamp is Tether to Bitcoin back to Tether, right? For me, Bitcoin has a lot of volatility that can swing. Even $100 a day is a big number, right? Because of the sheer amount that the coin is worth. So I'm in some good products, but again, I'm able to look at it from so the platform when you're on it, and even if you don't have money in it, just get on the platform because you'll be able to look at each pairing, and they're dealing with about, I think, 9 exchanges, and you can see the price of every coin throughout 9 exchanges. And what it does is it takes my tether that I have, it pairs it with the Bitcoin, and then it goes to Coinbase, Gate.io, right? It's surfing it. And then the minute that it buys it, the system's smart enough to know, okay, it's Bitcoin is 27,500 here, and it could be 27,900 there. And then you get that small increment. That's an extraordinary platform, guys. There's some lock-in periods, so I'll go over that with you guys. I'm on the 120 plan. It's giving me back about 5% a day, and they just started compounding 2 days ago, which is why I'm super stoked about it, and I can't wait to get off of MetaFee. MetaFee is and again, all of this stuff is not financial advice, guys, but I'm just telling you, if there's ever a case of a classic rug pull, it's going to be MetaFee first. I'm telling you that now. It's all the makings of that shit. I don't care about this white wizard running around claiming to be the CEO and all that other stuff. There's a lot of holes in it, but I put it out there only because it's new enough. But I'm watching how these guys are getting really aggressive with the 4.2%. All the big bonuses. It's brewing up to be that. And again, this is not here to really scare you guys. It's just to say, listen, when that first contract is up, pull the money off daily. I'm telling you, daily, pull the money off of MetaFee, whatever amount you have, because most of you are probably at like 2,500 to get to 3.3. So if you're right there, it's what, $82 and whatever change. Every single day, just grab that money from them, because there is no reinvesting and there is no compound interest. So there's no invested interest to put the money back in. Now, COTP is kind of that's a deal breaker, right? Because if I take 1,000 out, then I lose the compounding interest on my 1,000, right? So the way that you hedge against that is you guys need to start building your teams. So Champ and I have finished the book, the ebook. It's for both. So it's step by step of how to set it up, right? So the first thing that you guys probably need to do is, give everybody your referral codes, right? And then if you have PDF editors, you can edit the PDF and just change our referral code to yours. And that way you have your own copy that you can get around to people. And then just be familiar with the process since you've been there. So with the step-by-step, you could assist your team, and it will still have support. And we can still charge for one-on-one if somebody was like really, really stuck. And you could also bring people in under your VPS. So I got a good amount of people under my VPS now that I'm managing.
Yeah.
So there's also that option if you have friends or family members that just don't have the bandwidth, and there's no point in everybody paying for it, especially if you have a spouse in the house. So my wife has a COTP under me, and we're just kind of growing it there. So Tether, guys, listen, Wall Street can do this every day to the crypto industry. You understand? We already gave you XRP being the first of the of what we call the big six. We gave that to you the other day, guys. It's at a super sale right now. I wouldn't say throw the whole kitchen at it, but you guys are playing with profits. So this is why I tell you, do not take the profits from this passive income to go buy gas. And it's just a joke. This ain't a dig at any individual person, but we're not in crypto for that. We're here to build long-term wealth. I would hope so. Right. And not saying that if something happened, you can't get in on the short. Right. I'm all for the short, but you got to do something a little better than that. So now we fast forward to today. You guys are in a better position today than I was in 18, right? Because 18, the exchanges were closing down. The next one is going to close down exchanges. So Champ and I kept telling you guys, take this money off the exchanges. And listen, I was pulling shit off today. I'm gonna be 100% transparent with you guys. Only because Steve got about 8 or 9 exchanges, right? So I have to go through stuff. And I realized I had a Coinbase Pro exchange. I created a different portfolio under it. So I had 2 portfolios under my default. So when I pulled all my money off of Coinbase Pro, and mind you, I didn't even go back. I still had funds over there in 2 sub accounts underneath Coinbase Pro. So today I was actually transferring stuff off of Coinbase Pro that I had no idea. So it could happen to anybody. just the sheer volume and the amount of things that I'm playing with every day caused me to slip on that. So I would say the first thing today is get your stuff off of those exchanges. If you're going to keep something on an exchange, make sure KuCoin has it. I would get it off of Coinbase, put it on KuCoin first.
Immediately.
Right? You know, you're talking about a company that can possibly be bankrupt. That's going to take every coin, right? Because it's all fair game in bankruptcy. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Coinbase is still a needed piece with the government because they play ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they're going to allow them to really go bankrupt. But it is eye-opening to get messages like that. And then it's just reinforcing it. Like, I hate to say I was right, and I'm sure Champ is the same. Like, we don't really care to be in this space like this, but we've been preparing you guys for this. So now that we have this passive income play there, I haven't traded futures in a pretty long time, guys. For the amount of calls that I've made, I've probably in the last month, I've probably only hit maybe 2% of them. You know, because I'm just on a different wave right now. Especially with the way that the passive has been coming in, right? So with that, my focus has just been really to get you guys some other good products. And then I have another one that's a really nice one. This one's more in the Forex market, but it's one of those that you can really park some good wealth in. They have a good track record. Company's been around for 2 years. The people that bought me in have been in it for quite some time, and there's a personal track record that dates back to over a year. And they're actually having a call this evening at 7, and they're doing another call at 9. So I'm going to hit you guys with the referral. Just sign up for it, and then I'm going to send you. And then once you sign up for it, just say, "Hey, Steve, I'm signed up." Then I'm going to send you the Zoom link for this evening. Every Thursday they do a call. So even if you can't make this call, they'll do the replay at 9 after. But they don't put the replays out. And it's an extraordinary product. It pays 5%. It'll touch 9% in a week, but this is weekly now. But it does 5% in a week. I've seen 9s, and then it compounds it. So the numbers are really solid. The second part to it is, with a lot of you came from Herman's group, so you guys understand how to get the funding, right? And there's a lot of funding now. He has about, I think, 2 programs that you can get 0%. And I'm sorry, interest only. So, we're talking about loans upwards of 50,000 for less than, $300 a month, which is amazing, right? Especially for products like this, where you can kind of hedge against it. So we're gonna create a presentation for you guys on those products for those of you that have LLCs. We're gonna show you, how to get to some of those products if you wanted to, like, not have to use your capital and not be stretched with having to pay back a whole bunch, because we do make money daily on these projects. So if the lights go out, let's say on MetaFee, not that I'm not worried about it, but because I'm spread out and I have, like, the MetaFee money, I've made money on that money already. Right. So when I buy a liability on something that was an asset at one point, this is why we go back to the gas joke. And it's not a joke specifically for the gas. It could be for anything.
Pizza. Right?
So yeah, these are other groups. Everybody in these groups, I'm hearing they're like, oh, they want to exchange with a debit card. And I'm like, that's a taxable situation. And yeah, that's going to be an expensive slice of pizza. So if you think you're overpaying on gas now, add another 30% to that. So I don't know what everybody's net worth is or what you put on your taxes, but this is all short-term gains, guys. Especially the exchanges that you have that are connected to your bank account. Just know that those guys are connected to the government. And this is why you got tax forms for Uphold. KuCoin gave me tax forms. Robinhood gave me tax forms, right? But how many people got tax forms from KuCoin?
Hello.
So I'm not a crypto investor. You know what I'm saying? I don't cash out. So guys, we're at a pivotal point right now. We can grow a lot of wealth in the arbitrage space, the crypto space. And the reason that you guys are in a good position now is because, shit, when we told you about XRP the other day, it was 60 cents. It's down damn near 50% now. That's a wild entry, right? So still dollar cost average in, grab some more of that. That's the one. Champ and I are finishing up the varsity protocol right now. I'm telling you without a doubt that you guys have to invest. If you invest in anything, right? The Web3 book is still coming out, which is still important. That just gives you a future look into everything. Here's where you guys are going to win. So XRP is owned by the parent company is Ripple, right? Ripple right now is it's in pre-IPO. Prior to pre-IPO, there were high net worth individuals that I know personally that are invested in Ripple. You couldn't even get that invite into that club, right? Without them contacting you. So I have a way that we can get Ripple at pre-IPO. Ripple's going for $48. Uphold is at pre-IPO, super cheap. Bitstamp, not Bitstamp.
Bitmart
is at pre-IPO, right? So what does pre-IPO mean? Before it actually becomes readily available for public trading, it's given to a group of investors, which they call accredited investors. So you have to meet certain criteria to get that invite. You understand? So now this is us attacking XRP from the institutional side and the crypto side, right? Now there's going to be some other coins that you need to mix into it. These coins are super low, guys, like super low. So when you think about the money moving all over the world, when you have the main protocol, right, which we've already told you, XRP is it.
is it.
Right? XRP is it. Now there's other things that need to happen, right? So when one country or an individual needs to do a smart contract, we got to remember somebody has to handle that aspect of it, and it's not ADA. I'm going to tell you that now, right? He's a smart guy, and you see him. He's lighting up Luna right now because he knows what his liquidity is, and he knew how bullshit it was. And when they hedged again, and the second part with Luna is they're backed by damn near Bitcoin right now. So you figure they did the most with them. In the times that we're in right now, the only way that you create stability and wealth is by expansion. And this is why you're going to start seeing, the Russian, Ukraine, China, Taiwan, you're going to start to see maybe possibly North and South Korea, right? This is where we're headed, because this is all just about expansion. This has happened throughout the course of history, right? So none of this is new. Crypto is just new. So this was the first panic button that was pressed. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think you guys are heavily invested the way I am for it to be super panic, but, waking up to news that there's, popular YouTubers and influencers on Twitter that took their life over this.
Their life, yeah.
This shit is serious, guys. So when I tell you like 90% of my wealth is in here, and I'm just laughing today, right? Because I'm just trained like that at this point. For as long as it's like not gone, I'm cool. Because when it's gone, it's just gone. But I've already processed that before. But there are people taking their lives right now, who were giving us like great content that really believed in the space. Manipulation at its best, right? So we're still alive because we know that this was actually concocted. And like Champ said, it was pretty genius on their part. But these dicks are just so fucked up at the end of the day, right? No regard. So we're talking about $1 billion for two companies, right? In less than 1 hour. That's going to cause ripple effects to, like, some people aren't here today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Some people aren't here today. That irks me. So again, our focus, and we told you that from before, the DeFi plays couldn't have come at a better time, right? Because now it has you guys engaged. Everybody's making money. Please tell me that you're pulling these profits off as much as you can. And even with the COTP, like, stick with your strategy, guys, because it's really hard for me to pull off when it's compounding. But when you start to build a team, it starts to add, you can throw that money into the pool, or just take that money and get it off the exchange. You understand? So I'm now diversifying within other DeFi products. I'm buying at discounts, right? Loading up on my, what we know is the top 6. And again, there's aspects of the plan that has to move things around. So like I mentioned, the smart contract is going to be a necessary part of it. So who's going to be that one company to run the smart contracts on the world scale? You know what I'm saying? And it's already been said that next year, 2024 is when the implementation comes. Guys, it's next year is the implementation. That means, and they said, listen, it's just you're gonna wake up in the morning and it's just set. Every bank, every world bank is already on it. So I'm just telling you that when you're not positioned correctly with the right information, it's the difference between, and nothing against the spot trades that we gave out to you guys, but those spot trades are companies, right? So it's like, Google is what we're talking about. So imagine the opportunity that Google gave to everyone that came under them that did business on the internet. Right. So this is the type of stuff we're talking about, infrastructure. And you guys could kind of figure some of this out on your own. What happens is it's no one's pumping these things because these companies are actually working. So you don't see high price swings and things like that. And here's a quick gem. If you want to make some money right now in futures, just go over to ape and just ape out on a long with ape. Those guys are different. Their metaverse is about to drop. I've seen some of the highlights from it. The shit looks amazing. You got Jay-Z, Eminem. I mean, some of the biggest people own the Bored Ape situation. That's the only shit green right now. When you look at, just go to the top, go to CoinMarketCap right now, and just scroll down the top 100, and then just show me what's green. And they're actually green. They picked up 30. What they pick up, champ?
What with a 8?
Yeah, 8. And look, FTX, he's down 19. He picked up 5.5%. So Bored Ape picked up 32% in one day. So here's a tip. Just go to CoinMarketCap right now. Look at everything on the first page. Pay attention to what's green, and then pay attention to what's green not only in the 7-day but in the 24-hour period. And it's going to tell you a lot about what's happening right now.
This is crazy.
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. And then the Binance coin has stayed stable too. So Binance, if anybody knows me, I'm a big BNB holder. I'm a big believer in the system only because it's the biggest exchange and marketplace in the world. You know what I'm saying? It has the most volume coming through. I believe in that company wholeheartedly. Right now, if you guys had some long-term investments, I would say grab some of that Binance coin. And their USD, their Binance stable coin is like super solid. And it actually went up the same time that everything went down. And so did USD. So USD is for sure the government approved crypto. And we told you guys that a long time ago. So COTP, like Champ was telling me, they have to get on the ball, guys. When you get inside of those telegrams for the groups and things like that, and we'll go to their main one, we just have to start sending messages out to them to like, listen, I hope you guys are working on a different pairing at this point now. And when I say pairing, meaning if Tether drops to 50 cents, and it's not right now, but if Tether was to drop to 50 cents and you made your money, how we're making our money, and we have to come bring it out, we're losing 50% value on it
Instantaneously.
So just imagine you were in Terra UST and you did a good move and you lost 97% of your wealth. And Terra was a big pairing too. Terra was a huge pairing.
Huge pairing.
I never put that out to the group. That's not one of my projects. Right? I've played with Terra before on some scalping, but as far as like really digging into it, it's not a project that I ever really endorsed. So I'm not getting killed on Terra. But if you want to take some of your profits from the COTP and all that, I'm hedging that Terra comes back. They have a recovery plan in place right now. These guys are sitting on a lot of capital. I'm not going to put a whole lot behind it, but just think about it. If it's down 97%, 98%, and even getting the coin, it's a good hedge in times like this. So they have the most to gain. And really, at the most, what are you going to lose? They only have really 3% left before it's done.
It's dissolve. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just telling you that if you want to turn a little bit of money into something possibly and be accepting that it can go away, I'm going to bet on terror. I'm not going heavy, but I'm going to grab both coins and hope to make something on it. Again, I'm playing with other profits now, right? Steve's not putting any more money into crypto at this point. So Tether, what's up 40%? Bored Apes?
8. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, as we talk right now, you could have been. Yeah, I'm not telling you to go 20x on the shit either, guys. Just be easy. So yeah, it's picking season now. So these Citadel, these guys, they coming to fuck with the algorithm right now. Clearly, if we can keep up with this stuff quick enough, we'll be able to, like, you can't even chart it, you know, because by the time I get an alert to look at anything, the shit is just gone. So my guy Cheese is on here. He does a lot of, he's self-taught. He's doing a lot of great charting things, and he had put in something the other day on a Ethereum call I made, and he went the opposite way.
I can't make this thing go quiet.
Now I'll mute you. So what I was saying was, this is a timing situation. So I don't care how great of a charter you are in these times right now. When stuff like this happens, head and shoulder, you name it, it doesn't matter. You know, it's the market's being manipulated. So you could think you had everything in line and it was supposed to do this. So that's kind of where we're at with the market right now. So I would say I'm gonna ape out on a long, because these guys are different. Like, their money's different. They have their own ecosystem. I've never seen anything like that before in crypto, ever. NFT projects are solid now because of the pricing of some of these coins. So if there's a good NFT project, and I'll give you guys the one that I'm in with Particle and Banksy, you know, again, that was something that was bought with, you know, with some returns. And, you know, I could definitely sell it. Well, maybe not now at the prices where they're at, but I've seen what stuff are trading for right now. So, you know, I would say diversify as much as you can before pulling money out. Now, if you're going to pull money out, you can pull your original investment out, and that won't count against you. So when you do your taxes, it's always money in and money out. So if I invest, you know, $10,000 and I pull it out of crypto, it's not profit, right? It's my original investment.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys just have to get creative during tax season, and just know that if you're going to pull down, just, you know, make sure it's at least anything over what you initially put in is going to be considered capital gains. So you just have to know how to kind of work things, you know, against each other. And I go a little bit deeper because I utilize some business tactics, but that's a different call for a different day. So, I mean, just don't panic if you have the money, and if you're fortunate enough to be inside of these DeFi plays, and I told you, reinvest it in crypto for now. And then the DeFi, you got to understand too, these plays aren't going to be around when regulations come. They're not going to allow regular people to make 3 to 5% a day on their money. You know, just think about it. If you're overly impressed by this industry right now, what do you think hedge fund guys are doing right now in the amount of money that they could make if they could return 3.3% a day?
A day.
A day.
That's 108% in a month.
And it's compounding, so it's a lot quicker than that, right? So we're not even talking about the compounding part, and forget the affiliate commission part. So I'm just telling you that if you're sitting on your hands talking about next week and next week and next week, then just let it be that. But problem,
reaction, solution.
So we do need the government to intervene. You know what I'm saying? But it's already, their type of intervention is already, it's been written. So even with the XRP news, when they moved it back to December, Champ knew this already. You know, that stuff was already written, and that's all part of the design too, right? Because if you, because the XRP win is a crypto win, right? But right before the XRP case is done. There's no more discovery.
It's been done.
They fudged it, right? So XRP will win that case. But what's going to happen is before they announce that, they're going to bring in more guys. you're going to see NFT projects. You're going to see celebrities in front of Congress. You're going to see people get paraded around like there's no tomorrow. You're going to hear from people that lost life savings, right? Because we told you this is hot potatoes. If you're the last one with it, you're not going to be able to liquidate this. But if you're not playing with profit, you know, the same guy that bought the Jack Dorsey tweet for, 2.8 or 2.9, I don't think he's tripping. I don't think he was the guy that went and put 2.8, 2.9 in the market in cash and bought that. You know what I'm saying? These are guys that are playing with a lot of crypto and a lot of wealth in crypto, and they just, fuck it, I'll take a chance on it. And he got left holding the bag on that one.
Definitely.
But again, the NFT market is going to crack. 99% of them go away. So that's what I'm saying. You got to get into the right ones that you believe in. 95% of all crypto, including exchanges, shut down when regulations come. So then you got to be prepared for what could happen. A good friend of mine, she was setting up some stuff and moving some stuff off to her ledger, and then she got a little nervous. She was like, "Listen, so what happens if ledger shuts down?" So I had to kind of work through all that, and then not realizing that we didn't even give you guys that information of if one of these cold storage is shut down, what you can do. So there are options. You got to remember that cold storage is not sitting on the cold storage. Your situation is still in the blockchain. So there's two keys that you have, a public and a private key. So Champ and I put together like a quick white page for you guys to know, what would happen in Champ. I dropped that link to you earlier, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was regarding the ledger.
Oh yeah, you did. Hold on. You want me to put it in the chat?
No, I got it. I just found it.
Gotcha.
So here, grab this one too, guys. This is if your cold storage shuts down, if anybody's worried. This is a good article that'll put you at ease. And then we'll just figure like, all right, these are the steps you can do to work around if that, and shut down, meaning if the company is no longer around, not if you lose your cold storage wallet, you could always buy another one and
restore it from backup.
Yeah, with your private keys. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about now everybody's thinking about what can happen. Because if Coinbase can shut down, people just associate Coinbase with the entire market, and that's not true. Right? They are just a marketplace, but they don't have nowhere near the volume or projects of KuCoin just go look at Coinbase and just look at the stats and compare it to Binance. It's you can't even hold it together. And Binance, what they're doing now is they're just stabilizing Binance now. So they're taking a whole bunch of pairings off themselves just to protect the integrity of the marketplace. But it's nothing that you guys could be alerted about because we don't really deal with those. And then for anybody to even be in the UST pairing, it's not something that we presented to you guys anyway. So
At all.
Hoping that nobody was using that. But what I won't do is, and this is why I'm selling my Tether today, right? It's part of it when I said I'm going on. One, there's a lot of people just having problems funding the plays, right? Due to bank restrictions and things like that. So that solves one problem. But two, it's like, I don't want this Tether anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now I want to be forced to just be buying shit just to be buying shit. So I'd rather get the group or, your affiliate friends, I'd rather give it to them than for it to just be sitting on an exchange and technically losing some value right now. And truth be told, you could do this on KuCoin, and I'll show you guys how to do this, but you can sell Tether also if you want. So there's a lot of people that can't get access to it all over the world and can't get access to enough of it that need to make a move. So you can go right on KuCoin, and if you ever go to USDT, you'll see withdrawal under main account. You'll see withdrawal, deposit, and then you'll also see transfer, and then there's one called lend. Click on lend, and then just follow that. Set it to about $1.02, right? Compared to where the price is now, go between $1.01 and $1.02 and do like 7 days on the loan.
Major
And tell me
Jim.
how you do with that.
Major Jim.
And I used to sell Tether to guys in Africa, and I thought this thing was a scam until you start to realize like there's a lot of exchanges that don't have the liquidity that we have here. So when you think it's 99 cents, even KuCoin is charging us $1.03.
$1.03, yep.
On the exchange, plus one more fee after that. So we're talking about close to 4.5% on fees. And that's the same straight across the board. So you in essence, you can do the same thing. So before I go pump some gas with some Tether, I'm going to resell Tether to people that need it and make a profit on it, or I'm going to feed some more DeFi products that I can grow this with. That's just what Steve is doing. Again, I'm not telling you guys what to do, but if you have issues with paying bills right now, then this ain't the space for you. You know, in the sense of like trying to make this to then take it all out, to then keep starting over again. We have to look at it from a wider, a wider lens. And you guys have to start to leverage and figure out creative ways to put more money into these projects that aren't going to hurt you. Because if it's your cash, then I can tell you that, you're going to come into it apprehensive. But if all you guys are coming from Herman's group, and I know what I'm doing with Herman, and I'm watching him, pick these banks off like it's no tomorrow. And I'm like, holy shit, this is the stuff you do. And not that I don't even know about business funding, I'm more in real estate. So my private money is way different than the personal. But the amount of things that I've learned in the last 2 weeks with just, and these products are even new because they're just coming about now. And you're noticing a lot of banks are sending you, and you guys can look in the mail. If you have good credit, everybody's mailing you something right now, right? Everybody wants to offer you a personal loan or some type of credit. And this is what happens in these times. This is a leverage game. And if you know how to use it correctly and you're doing it for something that's going to give you a return, you can make great bank on this. You could definitely make great bank on this. But what you have to do is don't fall in love with any one of these projects. If I tell guys, you got 5,000, let's do 25 here, 1,000 here, and 1,000 over here, right? Depending on what it is. But I'll tell you that between meta fee, 25 is the minimum for the 3.3. So that's a good entry. If you're going to do COTP, that's just compounding all the time. So you can pretty much go to whatever you want on that. I wouldn't do $9, which is the minimum.
Definitely not.
Because you're going to pay $20 if you're going to run a VPS. So that makes no sense. And then when you go to Swamp Next, what I'm getting the best results on is the auto trading, the 120 days that they're going to lock you up. They just added compound trading in. That's a $2,000 minimum. For me, that was a good entry. Now, next up after that would be locking it up for 6 months at 10,000, and then there's a 1 year for 50K. And it's a solid platform that gives you a real inside look to actually seeing the physical exchange pricing in real time, and then seeing them buy and sell and then liquidate back to whatever pairing you chose. I would stick with USDT if you're going to invest, and I like the Bitcoin pairing with it. So it goes Tether, Bitcoin, back to Tether. So basically you're buying with Tether, it's looking for Bitcoin on a low to sell it high, and then it's liquidating it out to get it back to Tether for you, and your profits just sit there for every trade. So I'm at 5 trades a day on what I have, and it's been consistently, it's actually doing better for me than COTP. It doesn't have the strong affiliate backing like COTP, but I'm okay with that. And then the one for this evening's call, that's the one where guys, that one is special. That one's been around for 2 years. These guys, it's a combination of Forex and crypto. And I was fortunate enough, a lot of you guys are Forex guys, and they bought some stuff to me, and they're showing me a lot of the bot stuff that's happening in that world. And everything between NFTs and any sort of purchase, like bot trading right now is the hottest thing. If you got to sit here and touch a button in the same way that we have the script that's going to automatically pick it up, this is how we utilize technology to make money in this industry, because everything is moving so fast. So I definitely want to see everybody by June involved in every DeFi project that we have at this point, especially if you're making profits. So just move the profits around, because when the lights go, the odds of the lights going off on everything at one time is very slim. If it did, it just wasn't meant to be, and just accept what you get from it. So we've been telling you, we got the problem, and now we're just waiting on a solution. That's the last part. And the solution is just going to come with regulations. So what the regulations are going to look like, the Congress is going to get in, these guys are going to act stupid, right? And most of them are dumb. It's not that they don't know a whole lot, but the people that are lobbying them know a whole lot. So then they catch them up to speed really quick. But for the public, they're going to have to play stupid. Like, you're going to hear things like, yeah, now we're going to vote to ban it all. That's going to be the first one. Do not, I'm telling you, if you're looking to sell, hit me or hit Champ up, give it to me before you put it on the exchange. I'll cash you right out. And I'll even cash you out. I'll give you, I'll go right to your Zelle, right? I'll go to your cash. I'll go wherever you want to go. I'll mail you the money if you want to avoid whatever. Give it to me first. You know what I'm saying? And I'm only taking the good shit. So if you got something good and you feel like crypto's not going to be around again, do not sell on the marketplace. Please just keep that liquidity on there. Keep it positive. Transfer it to my wallet when the funds hit your account, and then we good. They are going to parade this crypto around like a cheap whore. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see some prices. You're going to be like, man, this shit ain't looking good. Stay tight, you know? And again, you guys got to understand this monthly investment for the university is, you know, $50 a month. We're not talking about a whole lot of money, but you have to look at it long-term, right? Because the people people leave and come in the group all the time, right? And when they leave, I always like to have like a little exit. Hey, what happened? It's like, oh, I'm cutting back on expenses right now. The worst thing you can do is cut back on something that's teaching you how to make
money.
That's the worst thing you can do. And then when I asked them, well, did you get into the DeFi products? No. So I get it. This university is not a gym membership, guys. This ain't one of those things where you just buy it and you just let it kind of do whatever. I am telling you to start taking this shit serious. We only have one more year between 2022, 2023, and 2024, right? So when the plan is instituted in 2023, that's phase one. It's not over yet, right? The other phase that's going to be a little weird is in 2023. And we called this already. I said there's going to be a financial revolution in the world. Every country is going to be fighting for pecking order right now. The United States still wants the petrodollar. They still want to tell people what to do. Countries are being backed by shit that they don't even know who the owners are, which is stupid, right? I wouldn't tell anybody to back anything behind Bitcoin because you see the instability of it. It just shows you this shit is wild. And it's going to go up. It's going to go back up. This is the buying opportunity. I call 25K. I want to say it hit 25K at some point, but it bounced right off of that. 25K was the number. So one of my calls, it came true. Now, the next thing is going to be how they parade this thing in Congress. Stable coins are all going to come under scrutiny. Every company right now already has multiple pairings. So if somebody asks if Tether goes down, that's no problem. It doesn't fuck with the industry, but we need Tether right now. I'll be honest with you. We need them to keep manipulating these markets the way that they do. But the way that the government's going to come in and steamroll the stable coin, because all they're doing is making way for USDC. And that's just going to be the way of life in crypto when you talk about pairings on for everything, right? And there'll be some other stable coins. I'm not going to say that they're going to be the only one, but they're going to be the largest. And I don't know, Champ, you agree? Maybe someone else, or they're going to be the largest.
No, that's the largest.
All right. So yeah, so that we're back to the US dollar again.
Yep.
No different. And all of it starts with US. You know, how ironic. Yeah, I'm gonna shut this off and then we can just do a Q&A. So guys, don't panic. You were told this before. For me, it was just really the timing of like what I have out. So I played a leverage game, which is the only reason I was kind of in a little bit of mode this morning. But outside of that, for the last 2 days, I didn't even really check for the market like that, outside of just what I do for you guys. But from a personal standpoint, I looked at it today, shit was sad. I'll be honest, my life savings is in here. And not even savings, right? It's just my life investment is in here, but I've seen it go up and down crazy.
Numerous times.
Yeah, and I talked to Champ about this, even my wife, like, maybe I should pull something, but I thought this shit was going to come towards end of the year and not so much now. So the manufacturing part of what Wall Street did to this, hats off to them. They're going to keep playing around. They could make $1 billion every week personally by fucking with this market right now.
Playing with us.
So we just have to stay in front of the 8 ball. And to be honest, it could have been Elon Musk too. You know, these guys they're picking it apart to show you the instabilities, and then they have their own solutions, which are going to be their companies brought to the forefront. But crypto will be around. So for those of you that are a little bit worried and scared about all the spots that you have, but what I would do is I would definitely, one or two things. You set a one-on-one with Champ and I to kind of review what you have and what your plan is, right? Because that's super valuable, guys. Then we could put you on course, not giving you the play, because the play is part of a varsity book that we're putting out. The varsity book is going to have XRP in it, and it's going to have the other ones. And along with that, it's going to give you concrete information that shows the links between everything that's happening, right? And then you'll have links to interviews, links to press releases and things like that, and you'll start to see. And some of you might have even heard it once in a while and not paid mind to it, right? So when you start to see it, and another lady to follow is like Kathy Woods, ARK Investment, one of the biggest female hedge fund ran. She's amazing, but just Google her and listen to Kathy Woods crypto, and just listen to a lot of stuff she says about crypto. She's still surface layer. They're not looking at individual projects the way Champ and I do. So, but she's a good person to kind of follow, to see like how institutions are thinking, and they like I said, they're looking at all layer ones. If you don't know what a layer one is, just Google it. I'll give you one. Ethereum is considered a layer one, right? It's a blockchain that they build, and they're allowing people to build and stack on top of it, right? So start studying the history of Ethereum and why he built that. And it wasn't for Bored Apes and Shiba and Doge. It was really for to solve elections and world problems. And it turned into something else. But when you have open source, it doesn't matter. So what they throw at simple people initially is they throw monkey faces, right? Animals and gaming, right? Because that's keeping us all entertained right now. And then they give us the headlines. Oh, this one sold for 100 million. Oh, this girl made 9 million at 13. Yeah, this shit's happening, but they're not telling you the amount of people that's getting their ass killed. Right? There's more of that going on. Hence the security book, not FOMOing in. So again, a lot of you, some of you are pretty much breaking even, or some are losing, some are making money with futures, but you got to understand the point of the future calls was for you to understand the projects, right? When you start to understand the projects, you start to understand crypto a little bit better. Then you start to be able to connect dots like Champ and I, so then you feel you have stronger conviction in what you're doing. And I think when everybody gets inside of the 6 coins, because this is where the fun begins, guys. When the mass adoption comes and those projects start to come to the forefront, that's when we get on as a group. And today there's 30 people on here. Just imagine when everybody has $10 million liquid, the amount of damage that we can do in the world when any one of us have a project or a play to do. And that was my first reason for setting this university. Actually, well, second reason. First is I just didn't want everybody missing out on this. The second was when you start to build a group from the ground up, the amount of, because it's different. When you're dealing with guys who already have money, they have a different ideology, right? But we're all here in crypto together at the same time, building wealth. Whether you came on at 15 with us or 9 as a first guy or 2020, 2022, it doesn't matter. We're all part of the same group. So I am telling you that the way that we are positioning the group is for all of us to be multimillionaires. And again, 10 million might sound like a lot of money to you, but in the new economy, it's really not going to be a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? In consideration, because you got to think guys are making $1 billion in minutes. This is going to continue to happen. This happens in the stock market. We're just never privy to it. So the investment, the $50 investment, I'm not raising the prices on this as much as I wanted to a while ago. Just keep it at that. The investment is for long-term. Start looking at it in a year, right? And then just think it's 2025 for the revolution and everything to be over. And then for this new world and this new economy to be set. It's 2025. We're talking about 3 years from now, guys. You know what you did 3 years ago. We were just in a pandemic damn near 3 years ago, and it seemed like yesterday. So if you can't wait 3 years to amass wealth, and I don't care where you go after this, just stay in. I always told you guys that. Stay in crypto. The cancel button is everywhere that you can find it. I ain't hiding the shit from you, but stay in crypto. You know what I'm saying? Keep abreast of the information and the knowledge. I don't like the fact that when I look at Discord, people aren't reading certain things. we can see the engagement.
Engagement, yeah.
So it's all good because 2025, when we have, when we have our little thing and our little powwow, I know exactly who's going to be in the room. And it's not that you're not going to be invited, but you might not like some of the talk that goes on in there. So I'm just telling you, start taking it a little bit more serious. The dollar's collapsing. We know that that's over. And crypto took a nice little hit today. So I'm glad you guys were part of the first, I wouldn't say black swan. It's a white swan. They kind of let you live on this one a little bit. But the big boy is coming. So let's just kind of stay abreast in the situation. All right, I'm shutting off the recording now.